to us.
Yes, thank you, everyone. And my name is Li Gao, and I'm from ADMT department at Aalborg University. And today I'm going to talk about what is my PhD project, but it's only part of it. And unfortunate because the system we have designed it's a very high competition marketing product. So a lot of results we actually study from the user. We are now not allowed to present to you. So I only can show you some general picture and describe verbally. So I cannot show the really figure and because this confidential agreement we have signed it. So it's about human-computer interaction, and my focus area is about designing the ludic engagement. How many of you here understand what is a ludic engagement? Actually, the ludic, the word is come from a Greek many years ago, but it's more intended to playful experience and a playful engagement. That's involved a lot when you do this gamification, like design some system based on how fun this can be and kind of provide this motivation for people to keep playing. And design this kind of ludic engagement into this kind of systematic or goal-oriented system. It's quite important to user actually how to include them to engage to using your system. But at the very beginning, I want to show you something. So all guys here might have a girlfriend or whatsoever. So when we're talking about interaction, that's basically mean how you actually communicate with each other. When we're standing, face to face, you know how the interaction is become. You can talk, your facial expression, your body language, everything is bring this kind of meaning to another one. So you might, sometimes we got a little bit confused. But thinking about it, if we put a boundary between those two persons, you are talking on the phone, then that's more misunderstood and less interaction, kind of build it up, you're limited by some kind of situation. And how about a computer? You go through with chatting and maybe some virtual effect, then you kind of even harder. Now, if you just talking to a system and talking to a computer, that's even more question can be bring it up. That's actually why a lot of system, when they designed it to the user, we see this kind of reaction. You might watch this one already. Okay, that's definitely not what we want. And you might saw this video already. So we're talking about human computing. The genre of the human computing passed from since the 1980s, early 1980s. The computer is designed from a lot of people, and they only can satisfy with one or two functionality. But towards nowadays and to the future, the computer genre become many system and many kind of device with only focus on one user. So we will integrate and interact with so many devices based on daily life. And if you look around and just the stuff we have it on the table and in the hands, you already know how many devices you need to deal with every day. And we are in this kind of faster and faster learning curve to get to know how to use it and somehow can leading us to enjoy to use it. So a lot of this kind of system, as I mentioned before, from engineering perspective, they satisfied with the function. They can working. But towards a user perspective, not really. We hate some product and we cannot use it all the time. So the interaction design is about usability concern the usability into the design process, which achieve three main, I just make it simple, so it's only the three main focus you need to achieve. First, it's need to be easy to learn. We don't need to create such huge learning curve to adapt to this system. And it's effective to use. Of course, it don't cost time and the procedure is shorter. And the last part, and also the most important part, you will enjoy actually the creative, this kind of enjoyable experience. So we can refine it. It's a good design. Then I would like to call the famous flow chat, which has been like a Bible chat for the interaction design area, because we want to keep our user, as you have mentioned, keep the audience always follow up with this perfect flow chat channel when they're using the system. So, but there are so many products right now, and we share the technology all worldwide, and the competition parts for different company to make lightable the products. Actually, it's compare how they can satisfy their user. So as I mentioned before, so at least if you don't do this enjoyable purpose, at least don't piss off your user. Okay, then leading to our project, the virtual dressing room. So why actually the virtual dressing room? We are shopping, we basically functioning with this kind of go to shop and go online. But actually the data shows to us, when you're shopping in the shop, a lady change 5 clothes in the changing clothes room, it's take them almost 30 minutes and 40 minutes. That's a long time concern when you do this. And this shopping activity, when it's towards men, a lot of men don't really enjoy this long phase of shopping time. So they really like to make their shopping procedure more faster, more effective. So I want something, I want a pair of socks, I just go there and get it, and then I go. I don't need this kind of compare or see the color whatsoever. But the girl was more into like enjoying the whole process of the shopping. But actually, then we say, okay, then maybe online purchase is even more effective. So I just go see the picture and then I see it. But actually the data also show to us in the Europe, there are 47% increase to 65% returning with the online shopping. So the people cannot try. They cannot see the clothes before they purchase. Then they probably mistaken buy it, and when they get it to home, they think, oh, I was make a wrong decision with this purchase. So they returning it, but it's a huge cost for the company, and also environmental damage because you get more transport and logistic task to just giving back and transport this product. So this is a collecting just existing actually virtual dressing room project all over the world. I just pick like some of them, and some of this project actually it's just idealized because the 3D effect. Oh no! Okay, that's.
Just finish.
Yes. Then,
tell your story, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then I just cut off this part.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I just cut off this part of so the ludic engagement, what we are studying, and we try to conduct a lot of experiment to test with the user and to find out how this 5 fundamental actually ludic activity involved with their behavior. So what we are doing is we need to study the people's behavior. But of course, when you see a system, they won't design the system divided by gender. Like we won't create an iPhone operating system only for guy, only for girls, or only for children, or only for elderly women. But this kind of system, they need to generalize a lot of behavior with this kind of common data we generate, and we need to have a kind of a design guideline to leading to the final decision of how the system should be. And it's involved a lot of with the user interface choice and the whole system design. So we do a lot of field study to do the persona and study the user. We also invited students to join our participatory design to design the interface to see the possibility. But this kind of system will enable the gesture interaction. So it's not a normal interaction we have right now. Then we have tested on, so far it's only 2 tests, but total participants of this testing with different stage of our product is 426 participants. So we have a lot of data and a lot of video. It's a group of people to analysis this. And how detailed it can be, I can give you a hint. We even study about how high the people raising their arms are, and we measure it because people intended to lower their arm when they try to use the arm to interact with some buttons or whatsoever on the screen. So that's how detailed we need to go, like when we design this kind of interface. Then that's some picture we have, I have the screenshot get from the test. And another part, because it has been divided to 2 parts, which was focused on the manufacturing production parts and also towards the user parts. And the user parts, we already have 3 solutions. But the last solution is the avatar solution. So we are not allowed to show it yet because it's an unfinished product. But I just say it here. So yeah, it's N. And I show this one in the very end, how this gonna look like. And this project was funded by Veramondo. If you know this, it's a huge close production.
Who? Memora.
Veramondo,
Okay.
yes.
And how far are you in your PhD?
2 years, almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
And this one is use a Microsoft Kinect depth camera. So it's different compared with the usual web camera. They can actually measure the user's size.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and another development is actually they need to develop how the clothes can be quickly scanned into a 3D model, because usually the product for the 3D model is take a very long range, and for the company they don't have that much money and time to make the 3D model, and tapped with this dynamic effect. So yes,
Okay,
I'm
thank you
sorry.
very much. Well, anyone who didn't get the point here?
I don't believe this. I get the point.
Yes. Did you get the point?
Yeah, I guess.
Would you prefer to have a system like this?
Yeah, I like, because it will save a lot of time when I call my girlfriend, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Questions? Yes.
So, do you want to destroy the shopping therapy experience for women, or do you want to help men?
It's because this system intended to set it at home. So
So this
it's
for online.
yeah,
purpose.
it's for online application, and of course it's need to be enabled to different age and different gender. Of course, it's definitely apply to guy as well. I believe when the guy shopping, they will not probably perform in front of camera and do this, but with this functionality of quickly browser each collection, it's very useful for guy. So they don't need to actually go to the shop and just go through the decors and find out a piece of shirt they like. They can quickly, in 1 minute, they probably could browse 20
And
shirts
do you
already.
know the return rate on online sales? How much male users buy as return clothes, or how much?
Yeah,
female?
we do have a data actually to the customer actually to indicate to finding out how many guys actually right now doing the online shopping.
So if the male percentage is very slow,
It's
low,
very low actually.
then and this is for male users of the internet.
No, this system is not towards for male, but they should be able
Mainly.
to cover a huge population of usage of the dressing room, yes. Mainly, yeah.
I would miss my cafe latte. It would be a little bit boring, wouldn't it? Just standing at home doing. It's also a journey to go out shopping. And you don't think that. You don't think it's a journey to go out shopping.
No. Actually, that's the part I skipped. Because my research is relied on the social interaction with this kind of ludic, because a lot of mom, they are fun, and of girl and whatsoever, even with couple, they still really engaged when they actually do this kind of hedonic value, involved with the hedonic value to shopping. So they not really always drive by the function and drive by the goals. They want to communication and they need the socialized behavior.
A question. When you first start talking, I was imagining that you can use this system in the store, because sometimes it's difficult also to be in, for example, in the States, there are many stores, and you go there, you have to go to a dressing room, and to take different clothes and whatever, and sometimes it doesn't fit well, but if you have
They
a
have
computer.
invented it already.
Oh, already?
It's
Okay.
existing already. It's like 4 years ago.
Because I was thinking about that would be nice to say, okay, I want to take this, I think this is not fit with me in the store.
Yeah.
Because the feeling to be there is not like.
Yeah.
So I can still have my cafe latte.
Yeah, exactly. So you can enjoy it, but it will be a different experience.
Yes.
So it's already invented.
It's already invented, and the problem is the technology is not supposed to make this a proper measurement of the size of your body. So the clothes you actually put it on, it's not like a physical touching. They will see more real when you see it through screen.
Yeah.
So they are not fit you. So it's actually, you only can quickly browse
Yeah,
the
browse it
style.
and say, okay, good.
Yeah, but you cannot really see how it's actually looking on you. Yeah, in some certain, and we also find out the lady was over 40 years ago, age is over 40 years ago, they are really not prefer see their face when they're using this kind of system. Yeah, they have this kind of egg-rating feelings when they see their face in the screen. So that's why another solution, the avatar solution, was being invented as well. Yeah.
Okay.
A small one.
Yeah.
Maybe you can upgrade it with a side camera, so also fit the size, and maybe a weight scale. Full packets.
But you know, human behavior, we all know, is such complex things, and the people have a different opinion on the data. We are really fighting for also another group of person. They are really against this because they think the figure data is such private data, and if you handling to company, and they can integrate it to a lot of commercialized usage, and which people don't want it. They think what the fit of their bodies and the size of body, they think it's very, very private information.
Yeah.
So, and some lady even mentioned, she said she think if some company sitting behind the system, they know my, waist size or whatsoever, it's like I'm just standing naked in front of them. So they don't like it. So it's a lot of issues actually we are challenging to when we design certain system. Yes.
Okay. Response to the way ye presented.
Excellent.
Excellent. Super.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent presentation, but maybe a little too much background.
Yeah. You could have skipped
You
the
could have
first
skipped
slides.
a lot of slides because
Yeah.
you could maybe cook it down to 2 or 3 slides.
Yeah.
Why is this a good idea? Because
Yeah.
I think it's obvious that
Yeah.
a lot of online shopping is getting bigger and bigger every day, and a lot of people do it. And this is a way that they can test their clothes. So
Yeah.
you can say it in a few sentences.
Yeah.
And maybe then say, okay, now you can see, do a graph with some figures showing the online shopping just exploding the last 3 years, or something like that. And then go to the systems that, what you can say, the interesting thing, or what you're doing. So,
Yeah, I think all the first slides there were great, but you could have skipped that because it's so easy to understand what you're actually doing.
Okay.
Can say.
It's
Yes.
not advanced electrical grid
No.
systems or opioids in the gut or whatever fuel cells or something. It's pretty,
Because I try to,
not to undermine it, but it's pretty easy to grasp.
Yeah, yes, but I have a point there.
Yeah.
It's very entertainment,
Yeah.
and it's very warm when
Yeah.
you have this first introduction.
Yeah.
The only concern is about the time, you have to care about the time.
Yes.
But I love videos, I love all these kind of things, because you are having a good moment also.
Yeah, but
listening.
it's not the video. Can we see your slides again?
it's another video, I know, it's just I try to
It's
bring
this
out.
one where you have a man and woman standing interacting. It was actually before the video.
Yes.
But never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's over. Then never mind. Yes.
I think it was really impressive how she could, how you could speak so fluently throughout all the slides. You just talk fluently and just you just used it as a support only, and were able. If you didn't have the PowerPoint, I think you were able to do it anyway so fluently. It was really impressive.
Yeah. Any other comments? I'm thinking of one thing. You said to me that you were always very nervous.
I am nervous like a hell, my stomach is just doing this.
And now you can go back and ease.
And
And you can
finally.
relax. It's the worst part here after the lunch because the ones who are going to present, they don't eat, and the rest of us, we have had lunch,
Yeah.
and that's all our energy. No, before you did. I'm just thinking, because what happens for you when you are nervous? What happens to you? You
I
speak.
get this,
Yeah.
I'm nervous and I get this really crumbly feeling about the stomach and just nerve. It's just nerve thing.
Yeah.
And usually I use the sweet. I would definitely eat some cakes whatsoever before.
See the cake down there.
So that's why.
Yeah, okay. But I'm just thinking because you started out and you were, you couldn't really wait, and that's fine. But I was thinking in the beginning that you were speaking a lot. It just went very fast. And have you stayed in China until for 2 years ago, or no? You have been outside China. Yeah,
Very long time.
very long time.
Yeah.
For the most of your life.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, because you can hear that on the language. You have a very fluent English. I'm just thinking that maybe one thing you could exercise on, it is to, if you can really tolerate or stand the silence. So instead of starting to speak, just relax and see if you can have the silence. And sometimes it's a good idea just to try it out. So we try out now 15 seconds of silence, okay? Starting now. Okay. 15 seconds. That felt for you, that's felt
Forever.
forever. I know. 15 seconds, that's too much for you. But just a few seconds of silence. So because I think it's also about breathing, that you somehow, you get grounded up here. So I just try to find a way that we can, our strategy, what kind of strategy would you recommend Yi to use to calm down her nerves, besides from cake? Yeah?
Okay, when I get nervous, I think, what is the worst thing which could happen?
That's very rational. I love it. Go on.
And most often conclusion that, okay, this might be an important job interview, that I have to present myself or present something. What's the worst thing that can happen? I don't get the job. And then I think, okay, so what? I will find another job. If I go to a conference, I will think again, what is the worst thing which could happen? Like, I mess up in my presentation, or I say something which are wrong, or something like that. And the worst thing which could happen is like that people will not talk to me after, ask me any questions, or laugh at me maybe. And I think that's like, for me it's okay. Like, just if you come to the conclusion that the worst thing that could happen is not so bad, then it calms me down.
Okay. I think this is a very rational, and it's a cognitive strategy, and it's great because it's very rational. So what is the worst that could actually happen? Yeah, that's one strategy. Other strategies? Yeah.
When I was in, we have this kind of break in Latin America, we call licenciatura, and we have to do a defense of our project. And my supervisor told me, you are the expert. You know your field, you know your content. Even if in the auditorium there is people expert in the same field, they don't know your work. So become, and if you are the expert, but you not in a very
Elegant way.
Yes, but if you know that you know your topic and you really dominate every detail, then calm down. The worst thing that can happen is people asking you, and if you have the answers, there is no problem.
Yeah. So that's also a cognitive strategy, you can say, for expertise. But you are experts in your field. But it's also a question of believing that you really are, and trusting that you are an expert, you see? Yeah. And being sometimes afraid when the real expert, or what you think is the expert, sitting out there. When I have also been young at a certain time, and I saw some of the experts in my field, and then I addressed him or her in the audience, saying, thank you very much. And he came afterwards and said, wow, thank you, and that was great, and da 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 da. So, yeah. But we are the experts in our own field. What are you doing when you are getting nervous? Are you doing the same as Christian?
No, actually, today I also felt very nervous.
Yeah.
But I think the worst thing is I think that's okay. Cause for example, how to say? Maybe you think that some Chinese guys like me, because my English is not very good, so it looks like
your English is good. It's getting better and better and better.
Today I learned
It's my ear getting.
No, so it looks like that Chinese guys don't like to talking. Actually, that's not. So today, although I feel nervous, but I think E will come out at the last. And maybe he can prove that Chinese guys also like talking. Also can behave very.
Yes, I can prove. I can prove. I can represent behalf of Chinese guy. I can do that.
So I think the worst case time it doesn't matter. The audience they will not cure us. They can't cure us. So it's okay. That's okay. We try our best to show ourselves. That's okay.
But I actually have the things because somehow the language is really become something like, because if you know him in person and if you hear his Chinese, if he used Chinese to present this, believe me, that's gonna be another deal. It can have a lot of humor things in word and you can laugh and the stuff can be made it so smooth. But when we towards the language, then first things we actually need to adapt the knowledge of language and in the expert field which we're working on, and also finding out a good way to express it. It's actually, sometimes it's a lose some stuff if we can use our mother tongue to present it.
But it's the same condition
for everyone, yes.
Here in this room.
Yes.
I have an alternative strategy. And now I'm going back to my yoga, and you think, but this is my way of surviving sometimes in academia and with all the traveling I'm doing. I'm still getting nervous. It's not always so that you can control your body. Sometimes I still can get this with my heart is going, and I'm afraid that the voice cannot get out of my throat. And what I am doing is, and I have exercised and rehearsed this for many, many years. What I'm doing is actually, you can try to stand up, then I can try to guide you. Try stand up. What I'm doing is actually just thinking of that my feet are standing on the floor. And I can feel the floor underneath my feet. So when I do this, I can feel that all what was heavy up here, it goes down to my feet. And suddenly I'm much more released up here. But it's a technique and it's something that you need to work on and exercise, so you have this feeling that actually, okay, it goes down to the feet. And sometimes when I do that, I cannot even move. So right now I have to tell my feet again, move. You see? So it's so this is what I do, and it's physical. But this is how I control myself when I get to a huge state. And this is okay.
When
Yeah.
do you do that?
Sometimes just before, and they present me, and they say now it's an ad hoc, and then they also have these long CVs. I hate it, but never mind. And during these long CVs, I can suddenly, it just, and it's like my neck is doing, so it's something, there's a psychologist here who could probably explain it, but I cannot. It just happens sometimes. So, and then I have this technique, and it helps me.
Immediately before
Yeah,
start to do.
just before we start. Yeah, yeah. So, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe you can take some opioid.
What?
You can just say the opioids.
Well, then you'll just get constipated. You can't have that.
Yeah, you can be
So
one
can you
of the
explain it?
volunteers.
What?
Jakob, can you explain this?
Which part of it?
Yeah, that I can get rid of my nervousness by...
Oh, you shouldn't have opioids, but you should have another drug. Or even